Well, hey everybody, this is Chris DiFurio with Keys to the Shop. Welcome to another edition of Shift Break. Today's episode is brought to you by La Marzocco, who's been making espresso machines by hand in Florence since 1927. They are kind of the foundational machine of specialty coffee worldwide because of their innovative and dependable reputation. They really listen to their customers, they iterate their equipment, and they have an amazing lineup of espresso machines that can fit any of your coffee bars. And when I say they listen to their customers, they also really are paying attention to what's important in the industry now. Machines like the KB90 espresso machine is an example of this, one of many machines that they have. But this one introduced straight-in locking portafilters that really helped solve an ergonomic issue, really hoping to help baristas. So it's no strain in locking in the portafilter. The drip tray has built-in scales to increase the accuracy of your extractions. And then there's the auto flush feature, which automatically cleans out that shower screen and creates a lot more efficient workflow, cleanliness, and is just really delightful. That's just one example of many machines, again, that they have created that will fit your coffee shop perfectly. If you want to upgrade your existing equipment or start off with the best, you definitely need to reach out to one of their salespeople over at info@lamarzocousa.com and check them out over on their website, lamarzocousa.com. Today's episode is also brought to you by Espressly. Espressly is creating custom branded mobile apps for your coffee bar, and they are a huge advocate, so passionate about small business coffee folks like yourself and giving you the tools to really marry the experience that people have come to love about your coffee shop with the technology and convenience of mobile ordering and apps. It's a no-risk model. There's no setup or development fees. You get a drive-through payment scanner, receipt and label printing capabilities. All of the data is stored in the app, and it integrates with some of the world's best payment processing systems, including Square. So I would really encourage you to reach out to them and have them get started on your custom branded mobile app today. To do that, go to their website, espressly.co. That's espressly.co. Okay, everybody. Well, I am really happy to be here talking with you right now. Something that's been on my mind lately is I wanted to share with you, and it's about the topic of vanity metrics and how it opens up to a larger discussion of how we are judging our success and what we are giving our energies to as entrepreneurs, as managers, as just career baristas, anything that we're doing professionally. We're always kind of on the hunt for validation, and we can try to get that validation through our community. And oftentimes we do try to get that through metrics. And those metrics, I'm not necessarily talking about things like financial metrics. Of course, you can be very happy that you have your labor cost in line, that you're profitable as a business. Of course, if you have more profit as a business, you can do more stuff, you can do more good, you can pay people more. That's why I love to see good operators succeed, people that are others focused, getting more profitable so that they can use that to help expand the possibilities for those who are a part of that success. So that is not exactly what I'm talking about here. And when I'm talking about metrics, really, I'm talking about popularity and looking to see if we are part of the cool crowd. In this case, vanity would refer to things that make us feel good about ourselves, but are kind of surface level. Things like how many Instagram followers you have, or what famous people are caught with your coffee cup at an event, and the jealousy that we feel. You might not be actually the person whose coffee is being held by someone courtside at a basketball game, or you might not have 20K or more followers on Instagram, but all of us are tempted to really be jealous of those who do. And that's where I think we get into trouble. When you find yourself feeling these kinds of pangs of jealousy around these metrics, around the popularity metrics and these vanity metrics, then it's an opportunity for you to either decide to feed that jealousy and that insecurity and pursue those things so that you can achieve a number, all under the idea that if we achieve this number, then that means that we're doing great. And rarely is it such a black and white issue. There's always nuance here. And as you pursue those things, nuance starts to take a back seat. And because we have a limited amount of energy and capacity for holding certain things and caring for things, we tend to, in pursuit of vanity, let die and let atrophy those things that are actually contributing to the health of our business and our fulfillment as people. So the way that you could think of this is kind of with this really familiar idea of not everybody is supposed to be your customer. And we want to get everyone in and as many people as possible into our coffee shops, because the more the merrier. Anybody who has served the public knows that that's not exactly true, and that there are people who will just never love what you do. They're not, on the same wavelength. They really appreciate Denny's coffee. They're always going to be unhappy when they come to your coffee bar, and it's not necessarily your job to always be like wringing your hands and thinking about how you can create inroads for those consumers. Although accessibility and the focus on bringing more people in and giving them the opportunity to decide for themselves if they like what you're doing is a big part of what we should be focused on, there is a limit to that where you can't lose your identity as a business in hopes of just pleasing all the people all the time and getting all those followers. There's recipes for these types of things. You could get those followers in a week if you wanted to and reach that number. But what I think we should be thinking about is something more like, what is actually nourishing to us and our business and the people that we are responsible for serving as leaders in our business? What's truly nourishing for that versus what is just all about feeling good and being flashy? And, who cares if a famous person drank your coffee, there might be a spike in sales online, but really the backbone of your coffee shop is your community. And if your focus is always on building inroads for getting more vanity metrics, then again, you're going to neglect the details that contribute to the big overall health of relationships with your baristas, with your wholesale customers, with your vendors, with your community, and you're just going to give them sort of the leftover energy. And so as I'm talking about this, I really think that it's important for you to consider asking yourself the question, why am I pursuing this particular thing? Is it out of insecurity? Is it because I worry that people don't perceive me as cool as I think we are? And it bothers me that people aren't retweeting me and they're not sharing my posts. And it bothers me that, our coffee is just as good. And why do they always get like artists and famous people doing this with their brand? And if we're honest, we find ourselves thinking that a lot more often than we should. Maybe it's time to take a step back from this online community and reacquaint yourself with the community that's really there and has actually helped build your business in your locale, in that ecosystem that nourishes and makes you fruitful, not in the ecosystem that simply puffs up your pride, steals your energy and your joy in the process. We have an episode back, I forget when it was, but I'm going to look that up and put it in the show notes. So please listen to this. It's called Death by Comparison. So these are kind of things similar to that episode. We had some newer ideas here, and I would definitely listen to that, Death by Comparison, and also an episode called Your Peers Are Not Your Customers. And I firmly believe that our industry would experience a resurgence in relevancy to those who are hoping to serve if we would just rebalance the scales of our attention and energy instead of being so weighted on vanity and popularity and all that other stuff. We're weighted more on long-term sustainable relationships to people who we are connected with and who are all about helping us grow. And again, on these nourishing relationships that we have right underneath our nose and not necessarily online. So that's why I wanted to share with you today. I hope that you found it helpful, and I will see you here next week on another edition of Shift Break, from keys to the shop.